is Mpumzi Swana. I was born in Lusigisigi in the Eastern Cape. That's where really my whole story begins. And I was born in a family that stayed in the farms. We have a culture of farming in our home, so we are early birds. But as I grew up, I then moved to KZN at quite a young age. I think I was 5 years old when we moved to KZN, and particularly for studying purposes. So our whole family moved there with our sisters and our cousins. And we first started with my junior primary schooling. Then soon thereafter, I moved to Durban, and which is basically where I've spent all of my life since then. I studied high school in George Campbell, which was a technical high school. And I think for me, that was quite an interesting space to be, because that's where really my sort of technical skills and acumen got built. And upon finishing that, I actually wanted to be a nuclear engineer. And at the time, you had to either study chemical engineering or mechanical engineering, and then do nuclear as a postgrad. So I chose to study chemical engineering. Another thing that actually intrigued me about it was that it was a study that focused on how to create finished products from raw materials, which just basically speaks to product development. And that, to me, that's been one of the key factors in my life and in my career, which has been really centered around developing new products. I then subsequently did some postgrad studying. My highest qualification now is an MBA from Gibbs that I also did in KZN at TWIMS, which is the Toyota Vessels Institute for Manufacturing. And that MBA really focused on, it was a manufacturing focused MBA. It was actually, it was only the second year that they were doing it when our cohort came through. It's quite a new program and really geared towards developing and growing people in KZN that want to be in the manufacturing industry. So that's where really my whole story began. So my first job was at Toyota Manufacturing. It's in fact, most people get puzzled when I tell them I studied chemical engineering, but I went to Toyota. So we worked there as a chemical engineer in their paint plant. So we were the ones that make sure that your car doesn't rust and that it has a beautiful paint finish. So I worked there for 3 years. Had a very good experience working in the manufacturing industry. I had very good supervisors and managers who had quite a sharp leadership acumen. And I think a lot of that really rubbed off on me. And I use a lot of the learnings that I gained from them in my leadership at our business. So currently, I am the Chief Operating Officer, the COO at SAMAC Engineering Solutions. And SAMAC is really a company that is focused on product development, but more specifically on the HVAC or refrigeration industry, where we have developed technologies that help customers to reduce their energy bills from air conditioning. So that's really the core focus of our business. Yeah, our why is really focused on or premised on the fact that we believe that there is enough. And when you look at that from an energy space, we believe that there's enough energy to be able to do, all the kinds of businesses that we do. It's just that we use it inefficiently sometimes. And that's where really our whole journey begins. I mean, if you think about cooling, during the day when it's hot, we want to be cool. And during at night when it's cold, we want to be warm. So there's a bit of a mismatch, that's there. And our technologies are geared towards actually aligning those mismatches, where we take the heat that is produced during the day, and we shift that heat to nighttime, and shift the coolness of the night to the daytime when we need it. And that really, causes a balance in terms of comfort levels. If you're thinking about buildings, whether it's office buildings or even in the residential sector, and when we also look at the cold chain industry, our why is also really centered on that, is that there is enough energy. We just need to balance when and how we use it. So if you think about a business that operates 24 hours, when you look at electricity, there's times of the day where it's more expensive to produce electricity than others. And so our technology is geared towards storing that thermal energy when it's cheaper, and then you use it to cool your cold room or cold storage or refrigerated truck when when it's more expensive and you don't have to use electricity from the grid. So really our why is really focused on that, to say that there is enough energy to do the things that we want to do. We just need to use it more efficiently, and in that way we become more green, we become more environmentally responsible. That's really why we do what we do, and also why I wake up every morning. I thought about this about this question for quite a bit, and our business in its youngness has been recognized in quite a number of occasions. At some point, we were chosen as one of the top 5 youth innovators in Africa in the energy space. And we were also chosen as the most innovative youth business by SAB Kickstart. And those are some of the things that stick out. But when I thought about it, that's actually not my proudest moment. I think for me, my proudest moment was when I look at the change and the impact from the young guys who came into our company, some of them straight out of school, and some of them, only having worked 1 year, and to look at the maturity and how they've grown, in terms of their own profession and them as people. One of them actually gave me a call a while back, and he had moved on to bigger and greater things. And he gave me a call to say that his time at our company was actually one of the best times of his life, and that he actually learned and grew so much. And I think for me, that was actually probably my proudest moment, to say that we're actually a company that is contributing to to the development of people that are going to do great things in their own respective lives. Yeah, I think the best advice I've ever received was don't sweat the small things. I think in entrepreneurship, there are so many things that come at you at a daily basis. There's lots of demands that come at you. A lot of people will say, I want to be an entrepreneur so I can be my own boss. And it's totally upside down. When you're an entrepreneur, everyone is your boss. So I think that advice really for me said that, focus on the key things that will get you the most results. and don't be so anxious and want to control everything. And I think that really has come through in the way that we do business, in the way we engage with customers, where we actually, our focus is on what is your biggest problem and how can we help to solve that biggest problem. And that's worked quite well with some of the key customers we've engaged and worked with, customers such as Standard Bank and Food Lovers Market. When people see that you're interested in the things that matter to them, they also won't sweat the small stuff when you are trying to give a solution to them, and maybe you're hitting and missing. But when they know that you have their best interest at heart, they also won't sweat the small stuff, and will focus on the big problem that you're trying to solve. So I think really that's an advice that's done well for me. So KZN being a very dynamic province, in the last couple of years has really been met with quite a few struggles, quite a few challenges, and we have not been immune to some of those challenges. So and they came at us one by one. First being when COVID came, and it really put a spanner in the works in terms of some of the work that we were doing. And you can imagine a lot of our work is in commercial buildings, and then everyone was told to work at home, and some of them never to return to to the office building, and so that impacted our business quite a bit. And then followed in close succession was the July riots, of which our office, our workshop was completely destroyed, completely looted. They took everything, including the kitchen sink, and I mean that literally. So, and at that time we had actually just had a big shipment from Standard Bank that had just come in, and they actually cleaned out even that that material that was meant for one of our customers, and so that really left us lying on our stomachs. But we said to ourselves that we did not come this far to stop, and I think when you've been in entrepreneurship for so long, there's actually really no going back, and so we thought to ourselves, there's no going back. Let's build again. And we literally started rebuilding from scratch. We engaged our customers and told them, and shared with them our situation. We engaged our stakeholders and shared with them what was our plan to rebuild, and our plan to once again, be able to fulfill our obligations to them. And we found that when we did that, they were very supportive. Different stakeholders came to the party, and in fact, it's probably in the past 2 to 3 years where our business has grown quite significantly as compared to the previous years, where we've even had investors that have come into the business and have significantly grown the business financially and bringing new markets, and so really, I think from those hardships that came through, we are actually much better off as a business and much better off as human beings. I think ensuring motivation within a team is something quite important, and I think it really has to be come from within. Our philosophy around motivation is that you must be able to give someone a vision such that they are able to motivate themselves internally, because you're not always going to be there, and you can't always reach them all the time when they're having their sort of struggles, and so if by us being able to share the vision that we have, it really motivates the people that work for us. And I'll give you an example. So when we engage our engineers, we say to them that our company is probably one of the few companies where they have free reign to actually design and build products. Whereas maybe if they go work for an established engineering firm or a manufacturing firm, they're gonna probably be doing maintenance or do something that is already predetermined. And so they know that when they are with us, they actually are fully expressing themselves and developing their skills. And that we found that to be a huge motivator, even when things get quite difficult in some of the work that we do, or even when they when there's friction amongst the team. Each one of them really always goes back to the core to say that they are here because they've got something to give, and they can fully express themselves, and our company is a platform for them to fully express themselves and grow. And I think we found that to be a huge motivating factor to them. So I've got a couple of people that inspire me. I think probably the most important person, or one of the people that have inspired me in my life, has actually been my grandfather. And he never left Lusigi and the farm where we came from. But in the space that he was in, he always managed to actually thrive and really be the leader at whatever he was doing. When he was in education, being a principal, and being also one of the drivers for early childhood development in that in those areas, and then later moved on to business. So when I look at him, I see that you can actually thrive in any space that you choose to involve yourself in. And that's really what I take into the work that I do, that if I enter any space, I want to be the best at it, or I want to build a business that will be the best at it, or I want to be the best at serving our customers in that space. So that's really for me, what drives and what inspires me. And I think secondly, it's also the belief that says that each generation has an opportunity to fulfill its own mission. And if you walk out with each day knowing that you are in this particular time for fulfilling a specific purpose, that won't let you sleep at night until you actually fulfill that purpose. So that for me is a core belief, that I don't want to leave without actually fulfilling the mission that we've been sent to do it. And our company won't die without fulfilling the mission that it's sent to do. So KZN is a very interesting market for me, very interesting province. I think when we look at our business, we really see the province as being a platform to build a new industry. That has really been a core sort of focus for us, is that we actually don't want to build a business, but we actually want to build an industry. And then our industry, of course, being on using technology such as thermal storage to be able to transform specific industries. So whether it's the cold chain industry or whether it's building HVAC. I mean, even hopefully in the next 5 years, our product will be in domestic homes, in fridges, or in clinics in rural areas. And what we really want to do is to actually create a platform where, you know, young innovators and entrepreneurs can develop their own products using our technology. And when they then do that, you know, they'll be able to then grow their own businesses, you know, just by utilizing our platforms and our technology to do that. And KZN is really ripe for that, you know, for that type of growth. So that's where really we see our business in the next 5 years. Rapid growth, but also growing with others. Another interesting aspect about KZN is that you know, there's certain core industries that are there. So whether it's transport or it's warehousing or the sugar industry. And those are the types of industries where a lot of green technology can actually be developed to make the operations of the businesses that are in that area more efficient and more profitable. So I think a lot of innovation will come out of KZN in the next 5 years within the traditional industries that are there, but just utilizing technology to actually grow those industries, make them greener and more profitable. Yes, I have a motto that I live by, and the motto has to be seen from a very introspective perspective, and it is that you are the one, and that's an internal motto that you know, one says to themselves daily. You know, I think we live in a country where we like to give or lay blame at others or give agency to others, or we're waiting for someone else to do something, and we don't see ourselves as, you know, being actually either the change maker or being the person who can take action. And so, you know, I live by a motto that says that, you know, I am the one that is needed for whatever it may be. So whether it's growing an industry, building a business, growing a family, being a responsible citizen of the province, of the city, you know, being a great South African, being a great African, you know, I am the one. You know, I don't need to wait for anyone else to come and rescue me. You know, but we can, each of us can really take agency and bring the change wherever we may be.